Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Regita Maharani from 12th grade of Nia 5. I will explain a little about narrative text and recount text, starting from the definition, characteristic, structure, linguistic elements, example, and the difference in the two texts. Okay, let's start.
Okay, the first thing we discuss is narrative text. So, what is narrative text? Narrative text is a type of text that contains stories in the form of imaginary stories, real stories that are fabricated or fairy tales. Narrative text has a function to tell a story that has chronological events that are interconnected. The purpose of a narrative text is to entertain its readers. Generic structure of narrative text. 1. Orientation. Orientation is an introduce or an opening in the form of an introduce to character, time, and place. 2. Complication. Complication is the development of a conflict or the emergence of a problem in a story. 3. Resolution. Resolution contains conflict resolution or steps taken in response to problems. 4. Reorientation. Reorientation is a closing expression that indicates the end of story. Reorientation is option or not always in narrative text. The last, coda. It is the change that occur in characters and also lessons or moral value that can be taken from that story. Just like reorientation, coda is optional.
The linguistic element in narrative text that are noun, past tense, action verbs, time connective, saying, and thinking verb.
Okay, next example narrative text. Hungry crocodile. Orientation. One day, there was a crocodile serving and waiting for its prey near a lake in the forest. The crocodile hid in the lake's water surface for quite a long time, but there has not been a prey that come close to the lake to drink. The crocodile is very evil, that's why it does not have a friend. Even the other animals hate it very much. In this complication, it is said that a culture who felt irritated finally dived to the surface, but there was a tree falling on his body. He asked for help and handled the buffalo. The buffalo finally helps the crocodile, but after the crocodile is free, the buffalo wants to be used as food. In this reorientation part, the moose deer heard the debate of crocodile and buffaloes. Finally, the moose deer approached them. There, the moose deer tries to save the buffalo by pretending not to believe in the buffalo. For that, the hare ordered the buffalo to prove his innocence, and the crocodile had to let go of the buffalo leg so the buffalo could prove it. After being released, the buffalo and moose deer climbed the tree and threw in until it hit the crocodile. Finally, the mouse deer and buffalo survived. In the last coda, the buffalo puts the left tree trunk in its original positions, which is above the neck of the crocodile. After that, suddenly, the deer said, "Let's run the buffalo quickly." The buffalo and moose deer ran as fast as possible, and the crocodile only realized that he had just been foiled by the moose deer. The crocodile remains trapped there and no one wants to help him. Okay, we have discussed narrative text. Now, we will discuss recount text. What is the recount text? Recount text is a text that describes a story, action, and activity with the aim of entertaining as well as providing information to readers. This type of text can also be interpreted as a text that retells events or experiences that existed in the past. Purpose of recount text. Purpose of recount text to retell past experience. So, the goal is to retell the author's experience that actually happened. Generic structure of recount text. 1. Orientation. Provide background information needed to be able to understand a text, such as who was involved, where it happened, and when it took place. 2. Event is a recording of events that took place or a series of events which are then arranged in a chronological order. 3. Reorientation. This last stage is the repetition state of the introduced that was in the first stage. This repetition will be summarize all the events that are told. Type of recount text. 1. Personal recount. Personal recount is a recount text with a function to tell the personal experience of the author. For example, action experience, getting married, and others. 2. Imaginative. Imaginative is a type of recount text with a function to present an imaginative story, then pour it into the story of event or incident that have occurred. 3. Factual recount. Factual recount is a type of recount text with a function to present a report of actual event or facts. For example, scan TV reports, scan experiment reports, class reports, and others. The last, historical recount. This type tells about history, but historical sites and historical objects. For example, the story of the Prambanan Temple. Recount text has several types of text that you can use for writing standards, but they must be adjusted to the purpose of the writing itself. Characteristic feature of recount text. 1. Using past sentence. Example, I spent my summer in Jakarta and I am very happy. Past or has happened. 2. We're action verbs. Example, spend, go, carry, run. 3. Use adverbs and adverbial phrases to describe the time, place, and way. Example, last month, in Malang, recently. 4. Focus on a specific object. For example, me, or a writer. 5. Use conjunction and time connective to describe sequence of events or times. Example, and, after that, or on Monday, on Sunday. Okay, here is an example of recount text. The date of the event that occurred is very clear and tells of event that really happened in the past, namely the proclamation of Indonesian independence. Recount text consists of orientation, event, and reorientation. 2. Narrative present conflict in the story, while recount text does not present conflict and only describe the sequence of event or event that occurred in detail. 3. Narrative text has an uncertain tense because it uses the sentence once upon a time in context to recount text where the time of an event or event is certain.
Okay, that's a little bit of my discussion about narrative text and recount text. The rest I apologize. Thank you and goodbye. See you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.